Hi everyone, so on this video we'll talk about liquid shapes, how to create a scarf or a cloth moving animation, how to create a fire animation, as well as how to create a tiny waterfall animation using liquid shape. Let's see. But before that, I know most of you watching my videos is not subscribed yet, so please subscribe. Also, please like this video. If you can like this video, it will reach to many people so that I can continue making many other videos like this. Please support me. Also, this is my channel, and if you have not subscribed, subscribe it. And if you have not seen other videos, all of these you have to watch from order. So this is the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, so on. So all of these I have made in the proper order, so please watch them in order. So let's continue. First of all, before we get back to that fire, the cloth and the waterfall, let's do a small water droplet separation. So for that, I will take this circle, create one circle, you copy paste the circle, Control C, Control V. Now while you have a copy, put the copy on top, right? And make sure you select it with the selection tool and then add, subtract it. Okay, in this case we have to add it, not subtract, so both will be connected. Yeah, now increase the blend. I'm going to do it all the way to 100%, so it's fully connected. Now you can take this one and then you can see it's a cool animation. Okay, while you are in 0, make sure to put it almost on top like this. While you are on, let's say, frame 30 or something, just separate it maybe up to here. Now see if that's okay. I think it's okay, but there is a problem with this. Let's talk about it. I'm just going to loop it right here, and also I'm going to disable the curves so that I can see a clean preview. Okay, now let's see how to improve this animation. It's already good, but we can make it a little more interesting. So first thing that I'm going to do is, yeah, since this is getting pulled, okay, it's getting pulled from both sides. Therefore, as soon as it released, it won't have the full perfect circle size, right? I mean, it won't look this circular. So we have to do something about it. So one thing that we can do is maybe right here when it reaches here, or in the start itself you can do it while at its 0. Okay, while it's at 0, or maybe we can put it to frame number 1. So I'm just going to squeeze. Okay, while squeezing I'm going to hold down Alt so that both sides squeezes at the same time, maybe something like this. Now this means the change, all the change that I did is in this keyframe. Okay, so that keyframe you put it to frame 1. So now it is going to start from that squeezed position, right? So it's going to start from there. I feel like the entire thing I can move it here much closer. Yeah, see, it's squeezed, and while it's releasing, still it is squeezed. If you want here, when it reaches here, if you want it to be more squeezed, what you do is maybe move it here and then do it a lot. Then as you can see, it's much better. But I feel like as soon as it releases, maybe somewhere here it should come back to its original shape, right? Because it's taking too long to come back to its original shape. So maybe here what we can do is we can take this one and paste it here. But if you do that, there is a tiny bit of a problem. Between here to here, there it won't move. So just remember that as well. Or else, because of that issue, maybe what I can do is maybe I can manually do it. I can just make it a little bit bigger, and that's it. Alright, it's just becoming bigger like this. Now for the next part, if you want to, this is optional. You can make this point only delay a bit. So while you are here, while you are on, let's say, frame 1, click on that point and select only that point. Okay, so while that point is selected, we have created a keyframe here. Okay, you just have to click to create a keyframe. It is created. So while maybe it's moving here, I can move it so that it will be still connected. See, all right, only that point is delaying and then it's connecting back to its original look. So here, have a look. So while animating, you have to think about how something would work in real life. So if you can imagine how things work in real life, and if you can try to imitate that in your animation, that's how you could become an awesome animator, just by imitating this. Now let's go to that fire animation, creating a new layer while I'm in frame 0. Also, I will change the color of that to be like this orange, and I'll pull this point to stay at the top. We'll also like do something like this, right, to make it look more like a fire, and then we can spread the bottom a bit like this. All right, now we need to create that star. So get that create shape tool and create the star, and while it is selected, and make sure you select it with the select shape tool and subtract it and then increase this. I'm going to increase this number, like let's move it here and there. I'll select it and then move. I think this is fine, 40%. And also please rotate and see if that's okay for you. Yeah, once you're happy, you can create the animation in two different ways. One way, you can straight away rotate this, but you won't have full control that way, or you can create using bones. I'll also copy paste this. Control C, Control V, Control C, Control V, Control C, Control V. Alright, now let's add those bones, but before we add it, we have to convert this to a group. So right click on this and press group with selection, and also make sure you convert this to a bone layer. Convert to bone layer. Now we are good to create those bones. Alright, so now while trying to add the bone, there is a problem. That is, now when you select this and when you can now take the bone tool, and now you can't see those stars to add on top of it perfectly. So on a situation like this, I want you to right click on the layer and go to quick settings and make sure paths are switched on, and when you apply, and that's it. Now check back. When you go to this, now you can see only the paths. That's great. So now you can get the add bone tool, and now you are able to add it. So start from here, then click drag. Maybe you can leave it there, or just hold down shift so that it will maintain a straight line, and I think it's fine. The direction doesn't matter. I'm just going to keep it upright. So for this two, straight. For this one as well, straight. Now we need to connect each of these bones to these individual stars. So for this technique, the best one is the bind point technique. They can also do the other bind techniques, but this is the best one, because when you are doing something called as actions or smart bonds, you can have full control over each of these. You can move this one to be here a little bit or go back. All of these points you will be able to move if you connect it with the point binding. So let's do the point binding itself. Alright, so now while you select this, because this is the layer that got all of the stars, so select a star, as you can see. Also, before you do any selection, take that bind point tool, and now you just have to make sure you hold down Alt and click on the bone first. I'm holding Alt and left click on the bone to select the bone first, and then yeah, in this case not the bone first, we have to select of course the points. And now we will take this, and it's yellow is already selected. Now you can press bind points. That's it. Now let's Alt click on the green, and I should have selected the point. Oh, I can see I can click right here like this. It's selecting it. That's awesome. If it's not selecting by itself, then you might want to take this one or the other one and select those points individually and press bind points. So here Alt click, click right there and bind point. Here Alt click, Alt left click, remember, click here and then press bind points. That's it. We have done it. We will go back to the bone layer. Make sure you select this, and now you can freely disable that if you don't want to that paths. So right click, quick settings, and then make sure paths are disabled and then apply. And now when you go to this layer, you won't be able to see. Now what you can do is go out of the frame 0 and take this bone transform tool, and you can now click drag and rotate, and see this happens. You already should guess the solution, right? That is because all of these bones got strength. So let's select them and go to the bone strength. It's not visible because we are not in frame 0. So go to frame 0, select the bone strength and put them to 0. And now just select one bone first, then go to a frame, and now take the bone transform tool, and now you are able to rotate it. Alright, so if you see when I click drag, I have done a huge mistake. That is, I have made sure I have connected all of these bones. This one is left alone, but see, this bone is controlling these two. This bone is controlling almost all the three, right? This one is controlling just this one. So you have to now break the parent. That can be easily fixed, but if you forget, it can be fixed too. So don't worry. I think now it's a good time to show you that tool. Go to the frame 0. While you are in frame 0, check right here. It's called the reparent bone. Once you select it, it is going to show you the parent. So as you can see, this is connected to that, like this is connected to that. So what you do is you just just click right here. While a bone is selected, you click on the empty space, or if you want to connect a bone, select a bone or click on the empty space. See, click, see the difference? So now hold down Alt and click on this one and click outside. Hold down Alt and click on that one and hold on Alt and left click. Okay, now just click on the white space to remove the parent. Now nothing is connected to anything. Therefore, now when you go here and when you select that bone transform tool and when you rotate, only that will be rotating as well as this, so as the other two. Now you can do the animation freely as how you want. Now while you are in frame, okay, before anything, so what caused this problem in the first place? Since you are a beginner, since you guys are beginners, I have to tell that again. So while this is selected, while you are in frame 0, while you are trying to add a bone, let's say you are creating a bone. Now if you create while this bone is selected, now the parent of this bone is that. Okay, in one of the previous video I talked about this as well. So just make sure that you hold down Alt and click on the empty space to deselect it. Now create a new one. Now they are not connected. Let's say you have somehow forgotten this, then you know what to do. Get that reparent tool and disconnect them. So let me just undo everything and go here to, let's say, frame 1. You don't have to do any animation. Let's say here at frame 30. Now you can move this, rotate this in the correct direction. Remember to rotate them in the correct direction. This goes the anti-clockwise, right, like that. Now we'll see how it works. Alright, now for the other one too, I'm going to select the other one and do a complete full rotation, and this one in the clockwise direction, this one as well. Okay, now there is another problem. As you can see, the animation is not linear. Okay, so what you do is you select all the bones using the bone select tool and select from 0 as well. So I'll put to 0 and then put it to linear. So now as you can see here, it shows a minus. Here also it's a minus icon. I'll just make it bigger. See, minus means it is linear, but now this is smooth and here it's linear, then it won't work. See, I'm just playing it and you can see it reaches there and it starts again. So if you don't want this to happen, select everything and make sure every keyframe is linear. So now it doesn't seem to stop. Okay, of course there is a delay here because the loop, or what you can do is we can put this one here, okay, like this, like that, and now when I press play, see, it's a perfect loop. This is cool, but there is a problem. This is super fast. So what we would do is we will increase this, and now I'll also increase this to 48 and then see how it goes. So as you can see, it's disturbing the view. These bones, press this curve button. Now you can see it is all working, but without the bones showing to you. Now this is also seems to be very fast for a fire. So what we can do is increase this furthermore and then increase this one as well. Okay, now let's have a look. I think this is fine. And now I feel like I should have increased those blend furthermore. So maybe we will increase it furthermore now. Now I have selected all the 4 while this layer is selected while I'm on frame 0. Now I can increase this number a lot more. 200 itself. Okay, fine. Now let's see the animation. Now as you can see, we are almost there. But now you have to do the corrections. I know it's not perfect. You can do the correction using something called as actions. Okay, these actions. Using this, you can completely fix this fire, make it look more like a fire. But actions, I will talk about that on a different video. Now what you do is make sure you go to file, save, and save this document as fire. Name it as fire because I will be using the same project for the next video, which we will talk about actions. So one more thing I have to tell you about the actions a little bit. So while you can see these stars, using actions, we can move this point maybe to be little bit here or out a bit. We can take full control of the fire and we can adjust the fire a lot more. So now I know it's a bit confusing. Don't worry about this. Don't take this deep into your mind. While we are talk about actions on a different video, you will understand. Now let's go to that waterfall animation. So I'm just going to create a new layer, but while we are on frame 0. So while we are on frame 0 and I just have deleted everything. Now you can create a box. So let's create a box, and remember the watercolor should be blue, so let's give it a blue like this. Okay, that's fine. Now I want you to select these 2 points at the top and then click drag to create something like this. I'll select these 2 points by holding, see, while I'm on the second tool. If I want to create, select the other point, I'll hold down, control and shift. Now click, now both are selected. You can maybe move it out. Yeah, better to move it out of the frame. And you can also maybe select one point only, maybe make it a little bigger, this one as well, like that. That's cool looking. Now I will create another box, but that one on a new layer. Make sure that is on a new layer. So we don't need outline too, so remember that as well. So let's create another box. Now this is that waterfall. Okay, this is not going to be this is like the world's shortest waterfall. Okay, so the more you create it shorter, the more easier it is. So that's why. So for learning purpose, it's a lot easy. That's why I'm creating it short as possible like this. Now you can create one more or just duplicate this. I'm just going to duplicate this layer and now moving it exactly here. Now select those points and move it with this tool, something like this. Okay, maybe you can put it here itself, doesn't matter because this is not going to be a real project or anything. Now you see all of these three are on different layers. This is very important. If you don't do like this, it is not going to work. Now to make things easier, I'm going to hide the top and bottom. I'm going to select only the middle one, work on this. So now you can create, let's say I want to create a oval. This is the oval. Later you can adjust the size, I guess. Okay, create an oval like this, select it with the select shape tool, and then this time subtract it and give a blend. And that blend, don't put it 100. We don't want this. We want something almost like this. Alright, now you just try to move it and see how it goes. It's like a water drop, huge set of water which is falling in the waterfall, something like this. So I feel like maybe I can reduce the size a bit. I think this is good. Alright, maybe I feel like I need to increase the blend a bit. So let's go back again and give it more blend to it. I'll also just move this and see. Okay, so I'm happy with the result. Now let's start animating this. So let's start from here. While it is at the top, maybe there. Now decide where it should fall. Maybe let's say 24 and put it to all the way up to 24. And make sure it completely go out of this main shape, and this is the animation that you get. And if this is too fast, you know what to do. You can select a point and then move and then see how it goes. I think I'm okay with this. Yeah, that's good. Now let's loop this. Looping is really important. That means cycling this is really important. So it just plays over again and again. So if I right click on this, and you can see I can put it to cycle, and now this is what I get. It is going to loop again and again, over again and again. Now because the loop is happening, you can duplicate it and you can place it to another place easily. So let's copy paste this. Now make sure you are at frame 0. Control C, Control V. Now take this copy and just move it to the side like this. And now keep in mind that I have already animated this oval. Therefore this oval too will have the same animation, same cycle and everything. But since this oval is going to move here, this one will also end up moving downwards, see, to the same place. So we can easily fix that by going to frame 48 and just hold on Control Shift and the arrow key to move it to the side a bit. Keep in mind, in this case, you don't need the exact perfect line. Okay, like this is totally fine. Now the loop just starts again and again. Now what we have to do is we have to alter the loop, because then both won't go in the same time duration, right? So we have to just adjust it a bit. Alright, now I'm just going to take this arrow while all of this is selected. I think there are only 4 points. While all the 4 points are selected, move this maybe a little bit here, these two maybe to right here. Now you get a slightly different delay. See, you just slightly get a different delay. Also, I highly recommend put this number to at least 1000. So because we have a loop here, we don't have to reach here, and then it's going to show you a wrong look of the loop, so you'll get confused. What I'm trying to say is, here to here it will loop, and when it reaches here, it will force to loop before this finishes, if this is like in 72. So remember, that's why I put this lot, like after like 1000 is enough. 1000 is enough. Now as you can see, it just plays nicely and it just loops. Right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm just going to duplicate few, but I will fast forward the video. I have to mention something that if you try to duplicate this, now let's say I'm duplicating this one, so you will face some problem. That is, while you are in frame 0, Control C, Control V. Now don't move it to this side because you have to move it right here to a different place. Now see, while it's working, it's going down. You just move here as well while on 54. Now see if that line is straight. If not, you straighten it by yourself, just like that. I think I should have done it right there on this keyframe. Now as you can see, all of these four is looping perfectly. But don't worry, here something like this happens, it's totally fine because it's not going to be visible or anything. Now we need to delay them, so I'll just go all the way here and delay the fourth one. So to delay the fourth one, I have to select these ones and then maybe keep it right there, and then now as you can see, it's getting a lot delayed. Alright, just have a look. I have these many added. I just changed the position of the timing here and there. Now it doesn't look good because we don't have tiny lines, so let's create the tiny ones quickly and do the same thing for that as well. Now let's start from frame 0. Okay, maybe for this you can draw from the beginning. That's better to draw a tiny one, right? Now maybe you can make it shorter, right? Place it right here, and then with the select shape tool, select it and then press subtract and make sure to increase this. Alright, now we have a tiny one so that I can just animate it as well. It will be a lot nicer. And also here I would like to spread it a bit. Okay, maybe like this. I just move this and see how it goes. Yeah, here it's a little bit visible. I think that's fine. Maybe I can make it taller too. Yeah, that's cool. That's nice. All right, this is what I want, a tiny one. Now let's start here, from here, same thing. Now while it's here, and of course make sure it should be here in frame 0, and if it has an animation like all of this got created, okay, delete it because I didn't do all of this editing in frame 0. Therefore see, it created some keyframes, unwanted keyframes, so select them and delete. Right now it is fixed here. See, that won't move. I think it got more. See, it got one here. That's another problem. So because I was playing the video right here, another keyframe got added, so I'll delete that as well. So I'll make sure now when I play, this should stay still, it should not move. But if it moves, maybe you have a keyframe on the red channel, okay, not the gray. Remember, it's on the red channel. If I select this, now all the keyframes that are related to this is on the red channel, not on the gray. Don't go to edit the gray, keep in mind, only edit the red. Red means the currently selected keyframes for the selected shape, so don't forget about it. So if I select this and make sure you don't have any keyframes on the red channel, now you can freely do your animation. Let's say on frame 0 I'm going to press Ctrl F, so I have a keyframe on frame 0. When it reaches maybe here, I would like to send this to the bottom right there. Now this is what I get. I'm just going to play and see how it goes. And also I want this to be a lot faster, therefore let's increase this. Maybe that's too much. How about now? All right, fine. So if you like it, remember, I click on it and press cycle so that it is going to loop again and again. See, it's really cool. So remember to go back, and now we just have to duplicate it. So while you are on frame 0, remember, we just have to duplicate it. So Control C, Control V. Yeah, I just press Control C and Control V. Now see, both moves right at the same time. So while you're on frame 1, hold down Control Shift and use the arrow keys like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now go to this arrow. Now do the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now see, maybe I overdid it a bit. Maybe yeah, it's okay. I can just move it there, I guess. Alright, now to delay the timings, you know what to do. Make sure the arrow and this you can select and you can put it maybe here. Don't worry that at the start it will grow from here to here. Don't worry about that. Now it's totally fine. Now I will fast forward the video and duplicate those tiny ones also. Alright, so I didn't add much. See, this is how much I have done. Okay, so that's enough. Now seems like the strength of the blend for some reason has got changed. So what we can do is we can again go to frame 0, select one of that shape and then increase this number. Okay, now you see it's a bit difficult. See, this effect is not much blend effect, even though for this single shape it is increased to 93. It's not getting affected for everything, so you have to select everything. To do this, you will have to go to frame 0 and now press select all. With the select shape tool, select all. Now see, this is getting selected, this blue box, but if you shift click on it, it will not deselect, just remember. And if you just have to alt press, this is strange because in many other softwares, if you control click on this, it is going to deselect, or if you shift click, it will deselect. But here it's the alt press. Now you can see this number 30. Just increase this a bit, like this much, and now you will see this is too much. I think it's way too much. Maybe I can put this down. Let's put it down. How about 20? Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad. Maybe I can put it down a bit more too. And see, these ones are now not visible because of the strength is too much. So what we could have done is I will go to frame 0. Yeah, and then put this to 20. Not 20, I want it like, let's say 15. Yeah. Now you would see all of a sudden right here the strength has been increased. That is because if you check right here, so you will see here this one, the shape blend, this icon. So the same icon, this icon is down here. So that means it is changing. So here it's 88. So here for this keyframe it's 93. So that's the problem. So it's all different. So you just select overall and delete everything. Now wait, maybe we have added it furthermore here one as well, I thought. So I'm just going to confirm that nothing is there, and this. Alright, now is the universal effect that's getting applied to everything while you're on frame 0. Now let's say I'm putting this to 10th. Okay, here I'll just scrub through here and make sure that this is 10 all the time. Yeah, perfect. Now this is much better. Alright, now let's quickly enable the other two and just see how it looks. So you can make settings for the other one, the top one and the bottom one. You can do something, but let's make this even more better, this water even more better. So I'm just going to hide it, and now while that is selected, now I would like to go to frame 0 and I would like to take that freehand tool, and while it is taken, okay, go to freehand options and make sure that the point reduction, this is called smoothing in Photoshop, if you can remember. I'm just going to put it to 15. Now you get a little bit of smoothness, or maybe you don't get, you get a 15% of smoothness, but let's change this to maximum smoothness. And now see, whatever you draw is fully smooth. That's really cool, love it. Now you start here, okay, create something like this. Okay, maybe I will focus on entirely on this area. I'll create a wave like this. You create a wave like this and then go around and finish it off. So you get something like this. Very interesting. Maybe I can adjust it later, select a point and then put it down, do all of these adjustments, and then this is fine. Now what we can do is we can of course select it. Okay, sometimes this happens. The problem is while you're on frame 0. See, now if I click, it is not identifying the object. So what I can do is I'll quickly create this as a shape. So while every point is selected, while I'm here, I'll press create shape so that it is a shape, and I'll make sure no stroke at all. Now you can easily select it, and then you can of course, now once you one click, it is getting detected. Now you can put this right here, let's say here, and now remember to get that selection tool, and while it is selected, press subtract, and then you will get something like this, now which you are able to move this. And remember one thing we forgot, we didn't add that 10%, so remember add that 10% for this as well. Now just move it around, see around and see how it goes. But I get something like this. While you're on frame 0, make sure it says linear for this, and now you just move it to, let's say, here, and then drag it all the way here. Now on top of this, you right click and press it to cycle. Now you will see that it loops perfectly. Also, I'm just going to hide this for a while. to show you that it's working. And now there's a gap, if you will notice that, if you have noticed. See now, see this gap now. To do that, you have to alter this. You have to take a copy of it and put it forward so that it just fills the line all the time. Okay, just remember that. But I think this is totally fine. I'm not going to do anything more for this. Now we can take a copy of this and put it down. To do that, while everything is selected, while you're on frame 0, while it is selected, Control C, Control V, and sometimes it just get pushed to this side. When this happens, undo everything, okay? And I'm just pushing it down to see if there is no copy. So again, Control C, Control V. Now it's fine. I think that's a glitch. Now you can move down and you can flip it horizontally, okay? The other one. And now when you move it, it will get rotated to the other side. So remember, while it is here, take it down and then flip it again. Okay, take it down. I think I overdid it, so moving it up. Now again, flip it vertically and moving it a little bit to the top, maybe a bit more. Right, now you can see it works fine, but of course you can select the whole thing and you can just maybe put this first, I guess. Maybe it's faster. No, putting it fast doesn't work out. Also, you can flip it left, right if you want to for a slight alteration. Now you can have a look. And I also feel like now that this is way too much. This wavy lines, this line, I should have made it tiny, like to be very tiny, but that's fine. I'm not going to do it again. If I do, this video will be going for a lot long. Okay, now I'm just going to enable the other two and work on the other one. This is more than enough what we have done. So I'm just going to draw a shape. Okay, so let's draw a box like this, and then take all of these points and do it something like this. Okay, now I'm just going to create a wave that moves. So okay, that point was there. I couldn't find it because of the same color. Now it's fine. Now there's a problem as well, you will notice in a while. So if I select this with the select shape tool, and I can easily not subtract. If you do subtract, this is what you get. This time we are adding and then we are increasing this and we get that nice wave. You can move this. Oh, the whole thing, if I move, okay, this looks like a wave. Maybe you can alter the points a bit. And yeah, here as you can see, we need that curvature tool. So to do something like this, right, for this one as well. So now I'm just going to select the other one and create a curve and alt click drag and do it a lot more. And then this point, maybe you can keep it closer or maybe a little bit far away. I'm not really sure what's happening. Now as you can see, there is a mess happened here. I can't really see it. So that's a problem. So what we can do is we can now select these points and try to do something about it. Now more than this, there is another easy method. Let me tell you to fix this place. Now what you can do is you can select this whole thing and you can move it like this. I'm going to undo because I have pretty much messed up there. So undo everything until it's get back maybe up to here. Okay, now this one looks fine, but here at the bottom it's not that good. So you can create nice wave. You can also make it small. I think it's pretty much big. Yeah, now it's fine. Now leave it at least somewhere here. Maybe I can make it a bit more small as well because that's a big wave. A smaller wave for me is okay. Now create a circle. So let's create a circle maybe here, and for that circle too, give that, this time we are going to subtract and we are adding that blend. Okay, now as you can see, now you get that look like it is the wave look for both. Now what you do is you select both, make sure you select both and then move both at the same time. So while it is here, just keep it at frame 0 and maybe when it reaches 72 I can put it right here. And see here there is a problem because I need to make this big when it grows. So just like that. Now let's see how it goes. Let me play. Good. Now make sure you select both, and there are two keyframes. I'm going to select the other two. Okay, now you can create a cycle for them so that they will loop like this. All right, see, they are looping perfectly. So if you want to cut everything outside your canvas, press Ctrl J, and then now you will see a clean preview of everything. So this is nowhere perfect, okay, but this is a good start, and then we have to spend time to improve all of this, add maybe gradient here, different colors, or animate all of these lines. Those are possible too, but I will leave it to you. So I will leave this up to you at this point. So I said I will talk about creating a cloth animation. That one I will push it to the next video, because this video I have done it for too long. And if you have not liked this video, please like and subscribe.